Oh dear.
It's not like a severe allergy, but I do have an allergy to beef. It's like so many things. Just there's just so many things, and like yeah, sure, everyone has had like one of them, maybe two of them happen to them, but no one has had like all of them happen to them. I can't find someone who has had all of this happen. So I can only find people who relate to a few things.
What's that?
I can only find people who relate to a few things. Like, you know how hard it is to find other autistic trans people?
What? Do you have trouble finding them?
Yes.
What?
How hard it is finding people who can relate to having to go to, I think it was 10 different schools between kindergarten and grade 12.
Yeah.
Like, my aunt
I struggled
has.
finding anyone who was autistic or trans until I moved to Toronto.
Oh, gosh.
Now, I did know a bunch of autistic trans people in Kitchener, but they all hate me now.
I think the only person I've met who's gone to about as many different schools as I went to, not counting college, is my aunt, who used to talk about it with some regularity when I was a kid. And then as I grew up and started moving to a bunch of different schools as well, she kind of just stopped talking about it so much.
Yeah,
Like, I'd complain about
I
like
hear
moving in the middle of a
you.
school year, and she'd be all like, "Oh yes, that's happened to me as well. You can vent to me about it and stuff." And then it's like, yeah, I might have gone to more non-college schools than her, but I'm not sure. It's yeah,
Yeah,
oh,
I hear you on
yes,
just the whole like not having a hard time finding people
yes,
who fit
and
everything.
and of course, having undiagnosed autism is really hard to make friends. But I kept moving around, so I'd either have to keep making new friends with people who already had predetermined friend groups, which is very difficult, or I'd have to just not have
Yeah,
friends. So
when yeah, trying to join in friend groups that already exist, I always like feel like
yes,
an outsider.
yes. I think one of the friends that I had made as a friend because they were the child of one of my dad's coworkers. And at some point, it's like, hey, we have kids about the same age. Let's get them together and have them do stuff. Like about the same age. I think he was like 3 or 4 years younger than me, but we still like hung out and played games and stuff. And then and then I moved away again.
Aw, yeah.
And I think last time I met him was a number of years ago, and we hung out for a little bit, played some Borderlands. I think it was Borderlands 2, and we played
Oh,
with
Borderlands too.
yeah. Uh,
I've
I
had
played
my fair
with.
share of that.
I still haven't played it outside that one event, and we played with this
Oh,
big rubber like exercise ball, and we were just like messing around with it in the basement, whatever. And one of us, I honestly don't remember who, like bounces it up and it hits one of the lights in the ceiling, but we didn't break it. The light was off. The ball hits it and the light turned on. We fixed the light. Strictly speaking, we fixed the light by messing around, by recklessly playing with some exercise ball. And then we're like, huh, hey, let's stop while we're ahead. Ball bounces, hits the ceiling. There's a thump, and we just look up, and now the light's on. It's like, yeah, let's stop. Oh, I don't know why, but I have this thing, especially when I'm recording, where I, like, pretend that I have, I don't know, like a chat or something saying things. Like, I'll come up with a thought and pretend someone else has mentioned it and I'll react to it. I don't know, it's mostly specifically happens while I'm recording. Don't know why. But I just had a thought, and I'm going to take credit for the thought. What if, uh, what if whoever made me in the character creator just put literally every point in luck, but it was never specified if it was good or bad, so it's actually both? I have all of the luck, good and bad. Someone just abused the infinite luck cheat. Yeah, there's an infinite luck exploit,
That's what I
and
always
I have it.
or I always wonder if we were all like created on like some like random character creator.
I don't know. Oh yeah. Before we're born, we have the chance to make ourselves into character creator, but we only have like 10
But we
seconds.
forget that we made it.
No, but we only
Right?
have like 10 seconds to make the character.
Yeah, and then we forget we made it before we made it.
To be fair, uh, between between like being born and like having conscious thought is a number of years, and we learn a lot of stuff in that time. We probably just
I know.
it would make
That
sense
blows
to
my
forget
mind.
about it. It's like I can just like look at my cousin and be like, I remember when you were a baby. It like I remember it's like when my cousin was just a baby and we like took her to the zoo and she was all excited and being loud and I had a headache and I was trying to tell her to be quiet, but she wouldn't like properly listen because she thought we were playing a game until I whispered to her to be quiet, and then she whispered back and actually was quiet. I life hacked a baby.
You life hacked a baby?
Well, you know, I don't want to say exploit. I don't want to say that I exploited a baby, but you know, there are a lot of things that you can do to exploit a baby's way of interacting with the world. Pretend that things are games, and baby will try to play the game. You
Yeah.
know? Also, I got my little
Well,
brother
that makes
into
sense.
My Little Pony when he was just a baby.
My Little
My
Pony.
little pony, my little pony. Yeah, I got him into that show when he was a baby because like he was like playing on like my mom's iPad, which eventually became his iPad, as I had mentioned earlier. And he had that thing for a long time before it first got broke. But anyway, he was like just watching some random videos, like, oh, child-friendly programming. I know just the thing. My Little Pony, season 1, episode 1. It's like, oh, but that's like. And then Mom just kind of like looks at me because like this might have been like after I'd already come out as trans, and we're like at my grandmother's place, and she's trying to say it's like, oh, that's not something that you enjoy. It's like, what? It's a show for like, what are you gonna say? It's a show for babies? He's a baby. He's like 1. He can watch My Little Pony. It's colorful characters. He'll
Yeah.
enjoy it.
Also, the Little Pony Friendship is Magic is such a refreshing show.
Yes, I still haven't finished watching it because on the
Me
one
neither.
hand, I can only finish watching it
Oh.
once. And on the other hand, I
Yeah.
want to do a reaction thing with it with Chandra, and so I want to just watch all of it together and like react to it because she hasn't
Okay.
seen it. She's seen like the first episode, maybe the second. So I want to just watch it with her and react to it because like her reactions to things are absolutely incredible. Like I wish I'd been recording when we would watch through Invincible. Have you seen Invincible?
Is that Wait, is that the superhero one?
Yes.
I started it. I've watched the first. I've seen the first few episodes, so I know the whole
Okay.
twist.
Okay. Well, the first episode, the like Super Friends proxies come out, and she's like making names for them,
Yeah,
and like the Batman,
yeah. How they?
where the Batman guy comes on, and Chandra like loudly exclaims, "Black man!" and then and then notices that the guy actually is black, and she's like, "Oh wait." And I wish I'd been recording it because just spliced together just a best of reaction
I love how that
compilation.
show is like. I love how that show like it's just in the beginning. It just seems like you're like generic like
Yes.
superhero until like the end of the first episode, and
Oh
then
god.
like shit hits the fan. It's
I
like. Wait,
I'm
what's going on here?
I'm such a bad influence. We had watched the. I convinced her to watch the first episode. She's like, okay, just the one, and if it's good, I'll watch another. But I don't really have time today. Gotta do like homework. We watched the first episode. At the end, she just. Well, I say turns to me. We were both, online talking how we are now. She's just like, why did he do it, Claire? It's like, oh, do you want to watch another one? Why did he do it, Claire? Like, she's like on the verge of tears. Like, do you want to watch another episode? Eventually, you're gonna find out. It's like, okay.
You gotta keep watching.
Like, eventually, she's just gotta learn, because my little brother's already learned it, that I make good recommendations. Like, I recommend My Little Pony. My little brother just loves that show now. Uh, for the record, speaking of My Little Pony, the song Art of the Dress has so bloody much foreshadowing.
Oh,
Have you
okay.
ever noticed that?
Which one?
Art of the Dress.
Or
When
oh,
Rarity is
okay.
making Grand Galloping Gala dresses for all of her friends, and then they come in, it's like, oh, but I want this, and it's the song is a commentary of people who do commission work for things and the people who buy the commissions and don't know what they're talking about but think that they know better than the artist. So it's a commentary of that, but they somehow also put in like, oh, for Fluttershy something breezy. And then of course it's the Fluttershy episode with the breezies. And it's been a while since I've seen the show, but there are quite a few moments of it. I think I think there's Twilight. A Stitch in Time saves nine, and you flash forward to like season like 7 or something, where a Stitch in Time saves not necessarily quite 9, but at least like 7 or 8. Like if you can just like go back and like listen to that song, and you can just notice like there is a lot in that. Oh, by the way, check it out. Over 20,000 int and 21,000 vitality.
Oh wow.
Level 4141.
Oh wow.
What's our health at?
How far into My Little Pony did you get, anyways?
I've seen every season except the last one. I was like
Oh,
really
same.
into it with the fandom, and then like it, the whole fandom started to trickle out by the end because
Yeah.
the fandom got to its biggest after season 1, before season 2, and then it was constantly shrinking from there. Is what it feels like. Like
I think like well yeah, most of the fandom was like the first two seasons. Like I think like everyone loved like the first season the
Derpy
most, and
Hooves,
then like
Derpy Hooves gets
maybe
revealed.
the second, and then like I think by the
A lot of
third,
people
like
apparently
everyone's
actually
like,
stopped
oh, it's
watching after
not.
season 3.
I I just kept watching after everyone else got bored of it because
But
I
yeah,
don't know.
I I
I think what a lot of them were looking for it for wasn't like I was just like it's cute
honestly,
and all that and
someone,
what
yeah, Honestly, someone has made a really interesting point about like the sorts of people who watched My Little Pony. It's either like gay people who are like realize that they were gay thanks to the show. Ah, shoot, it's already 6 a.m. Dread. Or it's people who specifically wanted to watch a show to stare at the butts of female characters, like kinds of thing. It's like those are the two kinds of people who watched My Little Pony, and if you say you watch it, people will usually assume you're the second. So that's why
Like a brony.
oh no, it's I want to say it, but I want to say it in a PG way. It's either like cool gay people who like realize themselves through the friendship part of the show, or the sorts of
Yeah,
people
or
who
the
would like,
toxic ones.
or yeah, people who are toxic, gross, perverted, that sort of thing. And there's basically no in between. You're either people who watch My Little Pony are either cool people, or they are like really not. Not just watch, sorry. People who got into it, like really into it, were one of those two groups with basically no in between. And it's
Yeah,
kind of
that's the
weird that
one
way.
that's yeah, that's one of the things that floored me is like how people like can watch a
A show made for children and start
like
to get
yeah,
like
and it's about
urges.
like yeah, friendship and love and like and just
Well,
like all this
they're in
wholesome
for the love,
stuff
just a
and
different kind
then
of
like
love.
huh?
They're in for the love, just a different kind of love.
Yeah.
Sort of a thing. Yeah, it was a really good show, and kind of just don't want to watch the ending because that'll make it end. But I do remember uh, watching it, and then I could go on like Cheeseburger and just find like reactions, like commentary, whatever that people have posted about like the episodes and about stuff, and like various memes that people have made about it. And like every day, I could find like 4 or 5 new like funny things that people had posted, and that kept me like interested and invested in it because there was always constantly new content. Even during the hiatus, there'd still be constantly new content. There'd be new songs that people would make, new like art that people would make, new theories that people would have. People would be talking about it like constantly. I could go to some random group of people and just, oh hey, they're talking about like I went to my first job, like my first like actual job, not one that was given to me by one of my parents. And as I was like being shown around, uh, I don't know how it happened, but somehow someone had mentioned ponies, and some guys over there's like, oh, ponies, and that's how I made a friend by some. Literally, I had like a friend group with like 4 guys. Uh, when I had my first job, and it was because they were all into My Little Pony, and that's how we all met each other. Is because we all met because someone was talking about ponies at work, and then the other people tagged onto that, and then boom, we had our little friend group. Actually, no. Wait, no. 3 of them were because of ponies. One of them was the brother of one of the other guys, and I had him over because, hey, coworkers, whatever. I'm been like befriending your brother. Let's hang out and do something because we both have free time after work and we get off at the same time. Hey, while you're here, why don't we just watch some ponies? Because everyone else in our group is talking about them. So let's just watch. And it's like, okay. And then, boom, got him into ponies. And it's like, ponies, ponies, ponies. But, and then like, try to do the same thing with like Ruby, and like, almost nobody knows about it. And half the people who know about it have just heard it from random YouTube videos that say that it sucks for no good reason. And it's like that kind of negative publicity is not good publicity.
Yeah.
I get passionate about things.
Yeah, for sure.
Ruby is totally one of my special interests.
Oh
And
yeah?
it sucks that I can't talk about more people with it, because I know I can't talk about talk about vanilla stuff with people, because it's not like someone can just like, oh, just go and like watch the first episode of Vanilla. There is no first episode. It's not a show.
We should watch it
Oh,
together sometime so that we can talk about it.
I thought you were going to start saying we are the Crystal Gems and go into Steven Universe, and it's like,
Don't get me started on Steven Universe.
we. It's like, are the Crystal Gems?
All the
What kind of
gems
what
will
kind of
always
segue is
stay
this? I am
together.
down for it.
What?
I was just like thinking as you were saying like we, and it's like I thought you were segueing into the Crystal Gems, and I was down for it.
You are also a Steven Universe fan?
I have seen all the episodes, and I've been working on downloading them all to my computer. I've just been slow with it because, whatever, I have time.
Oh my gosh, that's like one of my absolute favorite shows.
So I'm guessing you've seen Steven Universe Future.
Yeah,
Gosh, that
seen all
absolute.
the way through in the future.
So I'm gonna just spoil
We're
it for
sad to
anybody
see the
who's still
show go.
bothering to watch and cares about spoilers about things. I'm gonna give a spoiler warning. That episode where he finally gets an X-ray. How much of a like kick was that to you? Like, how much of a shock was that? You know the episode I'm talking about, right?
I think vaguely. I remember him going to hospital again.
In Steven Universe Future, Connie's mom gives him an X-ray and finds he has a whole bunch of fractures through his skull that have all healed like improperly. And it's like, oh, have you ever been through anything that would cause you like this kind of stress? And it just flashbacks to like, probably not all the times, but just a solid flashback to the times when Steven has been like beaten up in the show. Like all the times, but a lot of times where Steven has been just beaten up in the show, and it's like, oh shoot, wait, that would actually do something about him. And Steven Universe Future is not so much a, oh look, funny continuation of a show you enjoy. It's more of it's a commentary of, hey, this is what happens to kids who undergo such amount of stress when they are little. They have, like, this is the kind of experiences that will happen to them.
Wasn't Steven Universe Future, supposed to be like about trauma?
Yes, it is. It shows like his
Yeah.
trauma, and you can see like the ways that he reacts to it are ways that people like react to trauma, and it's very interesting whenever shows do that sort of route.
As a trauma survivor, yes, it is.
It's like, oh shoot, it's trauma. It's like all that funny stuff that we've seen him like go through. It's like, yeah, he's lived through, but he hasn't really lived through it, you know? And it's
Yeah.
very interesting. Speaking of trauma stuff, go play Eternally Us sometime, and if you wanna, if you wanna experience trauma, go play Eternally Us.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's just a cute game. It starts.
Okay.
It's a really cute game, and I finally
Is
got
it one
my.
of the cute games that goes like off the rail and gets like really dark, like Doki Doki Literature or like the School Days anime?
I've never seen the School Days anime, and it does not get as dark as Doki Doki.
Oh, okay.
Speaking of Doki Doki, it came. Gosh. Now, this is a long story. I used to have a friend who. It was during a time in my life when I wasn't really working, so I just had like a lot of spare time for like quite a few months. And so I had this friend, and we'd play Commander together a lot on a program called Octagon. Build decks for free, play them for free, whatever. Play Commander together, and we would play games together. And we did Let's Plays of virtual novels. He did the guys' voices, I did the girls' voices. And, you know, it's just fun. We would literally have like 12-hour recording sessions of just constant talking. I literally fall asleep while we're recording. They went on that long. And I just wish that we had stayed together long enough that we could have just seen Doki Doki Literature Club on Steam. It's like, oh, hey, this is free and it's a visual novel type thing. Let's play this. And I wish we could have gone into it knowing nothing about it.
Yeah. So
And
those are
now,
the
if
kinds of games that you gotta go in like completely
blind,
blind.
yes.
It's like, oh, it's all wholesome and nice and what's going on?
Yeah, you get to see, you know, the thing. And it's like, and the music gets all weird and stuff, and it's like, oh, well then. But yeah, if you want to watch a 200 episode Let's Play, I think each episode was an hour long. We did Sinaru Kana. Literally look up Sinaru Kana Let's Play, and it's the only result, because no one else has done it. At least not in English.
Oh wow.
My favorite is episode, I think it's 215. Specifically, there's a girl from a medieval world brought to a more modern day world, and she's enthusing about how amazing it is. It's either 215 or 145. There's no 215. 145. And she's enthusing about how awesome the automatic doors, like at the supermarket, are. And so my friend there says, just offhandedly, you should take her to the mall and show her the escalator. Because, you know, if she's so enthused about automatic doors, an escalator would be great. And it wasn't really a funny line, of course. It's just a little offhand, hey, dude. It's like, hey, here's a thing. What made it funny, though, was when Cortana on his computer popped up and did a Google search of it. It's like, oh yeah, you should take her to the mall and show her the escalator. And then Cortana pops up and does a Google search for take her to the mall and shower the escalator. And he's there like flipping. It's like, excuse me, I didn't say, hey, Cortana. And I'm just there laughing. Yeah, you should just take her to the mall and show her the escalator. Like a Google search pops up and interrupts the game with a Google search for take her to the mall and shower the escalator. Just completely out of the blue, which makes it hilarious. Another funny moment, or at least that I considered funny, was I convinced him to play through BioShock. And have you played BioShock? Andrew Ryan, Plasmids?
Yeah. Thank you. Or wait, if you would you kindly?
Yes, would you kindly? Yes. So we're at that scene with Andrew Ryan. You know the one. And just the whole cuts, like he goes into it. It's like,
where you're like, oh yeah, he's the main villain. And
I don't want to spoil it, but you know the one, the would you kindly scene with Andrew
not
Ryan.
spoiling anything. I know you like.
No, I don't want to
whack him in the
spoil
head
stuff to
with
the
a-
audience, because, you know, we've already spoiled Steven Universe Future. Let's not spoil the plot twist of BioShock or Portal 2 to them.
Oh, I forgot we were still recording.
I mean, honestly, if anyone's going on this far and actually, it's such an old game, and I think I had it on my channel. I know I've told this plot just before, but you go through the whole game wanting to kill Andrew Ryan, and then you kill him in a cutscene specifically because he commands you to kill him.
Yeah, would you kindly?
He points out that you've been brainwashed the entire game doing the bids of someone else, and instead of using that as some way to plead for his life, he turns off his Vita chamber so he can't come back and orders you to kill him, just to prove that even though you're doing what you thought you want this whole time, it wasn't really what you wanted after all. So we're playing through
Yeah.
this. We get to the cutscene. We get to like the aftermath where it goes all quiet and stuff, and he just like whimpers, "I don't want to do this anymore." When like 5 minutes earlier he was all up for killing Andrew Ryan, he goes to the cutscene. He's like, "I don't want to do this
Yeah, they make
anymore."
it so.
I remember when I played through it the first time, and I got to that scene. I'm like, "Ha! Maybe he is telling me what to do, but at least now you are dead, and he's next."
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'm up for this. Yeah,
That was
sure,
such a fun
whatever.
game.
But yeah, the whole twist of a linear video game with a linear video game with the plot twist of it only appeared to be linear. Actually, you were just doing as you were ordered the whole time. Really didn't do well for me because I'd probably had a good 50 hours of playtime by the time I got there because I kept getting lost.
Okay.
I kept getting lost and like I'd see like a splicer or something and go and run and hide. Because that game was
Oh.
terrifying to me, specifically because it takes like 2 solid seconds, or it takes some insane long amount of time to switch between plasmid and weapon. So you do the shock and like wrench thing, you shock them, and then you switching. Okay, now
Yeah.
you've switched. And by that point, the guy's not shocked anymore and he's shooting you again.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if my copy was just like it like that or what, but it's like I would hit someone, and then in the time it took me to switch to them and get to a place to hit, like switch to my wrench or a gun, get to a place to be able to hit them, they'd be unshocked and be shooting right back at me. So every enemy
No.
was a massive trouble, and I was playing on like normal, maybe easy.
Oh,
Bioshock 2 I
wow.
really enjoyed because you had both plasmids and like weapons at the same time, so I didn't have that issue, so the game was a lot better for me. Oh gosh, Bioshock 2. Ugh, I waited. It was supposed to come out, and then I waited like another like 5 years before it actually came out, and then I beat it in a day.
Oh, wow.
I actually had it as like my Xbox like tag, like what description, put in whatever random info here. It's like got Bioshock 2, started playing like 7:29 p.m. like April 14th, whatever the day was. Finished playing like 9 p.m. the 15th, like one, so 26
You
hours, and
binged that game.
that includes stopping for things like meals, sleep, and school. Wait, you didn't beat that game?
What? I said you binged that game.
To be fair, I also had to stop for family dinner. That was probably a good half hour there. Stop for sleep, another like 8 hours. Go to school, another 8 hours. So all in all, it's probably only like 9 hours of playtime, and I'd waited an extra 5 years for it.
Oh, wow.
Yes,
Did you play BioShock Infinite?
I did. I played all the way through there. I was disappointed it wasn't Sand Rapture. There's a Bioshock 4 coming out in a few years. I really hope it's Sand
Is
Rapture.
there?
Yeah, Bioshock 4 is coming out in a few years. At least it's supposed to. There's also Elder Scrolls 6, so we won't have to deal with Skyrim reboots
Oh, so there won't be
forevermore.
any more like
Don't go
re-releases this kind
re like
of.
that. It's insulting to autistic people. For the record, that was a joke.
Oh no, I that was me stuttering
I thought you were doing
or
that as
not
a joke for
not stuttering,
reboots.
but
Okay.
yeah,
I thought you were
yeah,
making a
I know
joke, and
what.
so I made a joke against your joke.
Yeah, I sometimes get stuck on words.
All right. I thought you were making a joke about the number of times that Skyrim has been like rehashed and redone, and we're making a joke
Yeah,
about that.
that's the
Yes.
joke. It's been re-released like so many times on so
Yes.
many platforms
So I was making a joke, like as a counter
without
to
a
that, like, oh,
new.
don't. Oh, don't go VVV like that. It's insulting to autistic people. But and then I really want to make sure to clarify. No, I'm joking.
Yeah.
Just wanted to make sure that you know that that was a
Yeah,
joke.
I know.
Good. Because some people don't know what a joke is and what it isn't, including me. So it's just good strategy just
Yeah,
to
that's
point
that's
out
an autism thing for sure. Like not being able to tell if something's
a
a
joke.
joke or not. Sometimes when I'm first like when
Hi,
there's like
excuse me,
people.
Granny. Carry on.
Hmm?
Oh, the shopkeeper walked
Yeah.
out of the store just as I was walking in to buy something.
Oh, okay.
Store doesn't close for
Sometimes
half an
like
hour.
people that
Good.
I don't know, especially like in like public like groups and
Yes.
stuff. Even some people on the server that we're both on,
Mm-hmm.
like there'd be people making comments and I'm not sure if they're being trying to be sarcastic or if they're
Trying to be funny or if they're
being mean.
serious.
I got a little anxious at first.
Yeah. At least when you're dealing with
But like,
people in person, like with voice, if they say something and start to laugh, they're probably making a joke.
yeah.
Like, oh, and
Well,
this time too.
once I get to know someone and I know their like, yeah, their style of humor and stuff,
It gets easier.
it's a lot easier.
That's. I hit to start the game and I'm spamming the A button. So the Switch brings up this checking to see if the software can be played, which can take anywhere from no time at all to like 10 seconds. So I just start
Oh
spamming the A
wow.
button because the last 3 times it is like not popped up at all, and then I just cancel the check to see if it can be played.
Mhm.
Alright, come on, let's do this. Where are you? Granny! So no, yes, I did buy a whole capture card just so I could. I bought not only a capture card but an entire Switch just so I could play Switch games for my YouTube channel, and because I have a lot of Switch games. I have a lot of games on here. I've only played a few of
You do
these.
have a lot. You got a lot. I think you have a few games. Like what are there? Well, actually, I have some of those games on other platforms too.
Well, if there's a game you
I
think that
have.
you might want that I have, and you want, we can totally just do a thing and play through it for a bit so you can see if it looks like the sort of game that you would enjoy.
Sweet.
That's why I love demos so much. Like, I had the demo for God
I
Eater
like
3.
demos too.
I had the demo for God Eater 3, and that.
Oh, okay.
Because I wouldn't have gotten it if it wasn't for me seeing how good it was in the demo. It's just jumping around, swinging a giant weapon at monsters, and it's like, you know what? This is the exact sort of thing that I want sometimes. Yeah, sure, it
Mhm.
has some plot, whatever. I don't care how thin the plot is. Sometimes I just want to jump around like anime acrobat in COGs, and like with just some stupid giant weapon fighting monsters.
For me, that's when I know that a game is really, really good when like there really is no plot and I still really like it.
I mean, on the other side, I like things with like a lot of plot to like try to follow, but my issue is my poor memory doesn't let me follow plots all that well.
Yeah,
I was
that's
able to follow
fair.
Bioshock because I played that for years. I was able to follow Bioshock
Yeah.
2 because I played that in one sitting. Well, two sittings, three, whatever. Play that in such a short window. And then
I
there's
like
stuff
that with
like,
I like that with books with like not being like I'll read a paragraph of a book and then by the time I'm finished the paragraph,
oh yeah,
I've forgotten what I
I
just read.
have I have 3 books, 3 Ruby books that I've been meaning to read for like months now that I just haven't read because I know that I really have to like set some time aside just to read, because if I just
I
read a
just
little bit I'll
yeah,
forget.
I just don't read paper books anymore. I find like audiobooks a lot more
Audiobooks are
accessible.
nice, yes.
Yeah, I find I can retain more. And
Wait, oh shoot! I had a book sitting like just over here, like within arm's reach of my desk. I was gonna like open it up and flip to a random passage and like read it out and see if we remembered what that passage said. But I moved those books to the living room because when I clean up, aka when I tidy up, take everything and I put it on my like dining room table, which is like a card playing table, whatever. Cheap little, cheap small thing. Oh hey, look, hey look, plot. I've already done this event. Anyway, I take everything and I put it on that table, and when I'm trying to tidy up, I take all the stuff that's not in the right place, I put it on that table, and then I put everything in the right place. That's what I'm trying to say. And just for a sort
I
of,
got you.
just for a sort of sense of, because say if I take a book and I know I'm supposed to put it on a certain shelf in a certain spot, but there's something also on that shelf, I might just put that book down somewhere else, take that thing, and then try to figure out where that goes. And some things are really hard to figure out where I want to put them. And I might be walking all around just to find a place, whatever. But if I take everything, put it on the table, then I know, okay, all the stuff that needs to be sorted is right here. I can even count it. I have like 70 things that need to be sorted. And I can look at it and I can be all, okay, if I move one thing per day off of this and into its right spot, it'll be done eventually. I don't have to do it all at once, but I have it all quarantined right here. Yeah, that's what people do, right? They quarantine the mess so it doesn't spread out and get everywhere else, right? Quarantine? Quarantine
Yeah,
works, right? When people follow it.
yeah. When people follow it,
Oh gosh, I need to
that's
watch more
how
stand-up comedy. I'm sure a lot of people have COVID-related humor now. I haven't watched stand-up
oh,
comedy in
there's so
years.
many COVID jokes that have come out of this. Yeah, that was another thing with my ex is she didn't understand the importance of having a bubble.
Oh, the 6 foot social distance. Gosh,
Or even just having a bubble. Like her bubble was massive.
what? We'll be talking about two
What?
different things. What kind of bubble are you talking about? Because the bubble I've heard people talk
Like
about is the everybody stay this far away from me at all times. But you're saying she didn't understand the importance of having a bubble, and her bubble is huge, which to me
no,
means
I
she
mean
wanted people to
like
stay very far away from her. But in that case, she did understand the
having
importance. So I'm asking what you are talking
like
about.
having like select people who you like see.
A social bubble.
Uh,
Okay.
this was like even before like vaccinations were a thing, and she would go out to see
Oh,
people
yeah, I should
and
go
not
out with
tell me
everyone.
about it. I
That
found out
sucks.
she cheated on me with someone.
That sucks.
Uh,
My like bubble of people that my web of chain people, my friend group, has been my mom, my little brother, my stepdad, and occasionally my grandpa, my stepdad's dad, because he would come over while I was there. But both myself and my grandpa live alone, and according to
okay.
the policies, people families have to stay like only being with their household specifically, but people who live alone can choose one family that they can like join in as a part of. I think there was an announcement that said it was like two was allowed, and they changed it to just one. So it's like,
Okay.
so if I'm
Here, a
like
lot of
basically
those
only staying with
restrictions.
them, and if one of us say gets sick, it only spreads to like us, like just the five of us, and
Okay.
won't shouldn't spread further. Except that my grandpa is also visiting like his other children, as well, and like their households, and I don't know who they are visiting and stuff. And of course, there have been a few times where I was hanging out with Carrie Ann, but she got vaccinated like back in February. Like, she got vaccinated early.
Oh, okay.
Although,
Yeah, here a lot most of the lockdown restrictions are
yes.
like and put like they're gone now if you have a vaccination pass.
Oh yeah. I went out to watch
If
a
you
movie
don't,
because I was visiting with friends and they were going to go watch a movie. So I'm like, oh yeah, sure. If you're going to invite me, I'll go with you. Sounds cool. And we walk in, it's like, oh, do you have your vaccination permit? I'm like, people are actually asking for these. Wow. I had it, for the record. But I was, like, I had not yet seen people asking for them because I almost never actually go out anywhere.
yeah, it's a law here at least that they have to, which is
Wizards. What?
hopefully it will encourage the anti-vaxxers to just
Oh gosh.
like
I've heard so
get the
many
damn
anti-vax stories, and I think the stupidest one, sorry to interrupt, but I remember the stupid story. Anti-vaxxers paying doctors to inject them with like saline, and then just write a thing saying that they got the vaccination. So,
what?
in order to have an injection site, so they can show, yeah, no, I got injected right here. You can see like the bandage, you can see the mark where I got the injection. And yeah, anti-vaxxers paying doctors to basically fake their vaccination, and the doctors are taking the money and giving them a real vaccination.
Nice.
So we've somehow turned around to the point where anti-vaxxers are paying to get vaccinated. And like, what is the anti-vaxxer going to say if they find out that they got a real vaccination? If so, like, how would they find out they got a real
More
vaccination? Because they're gonna try
freedom.
to lie and say that they did, and they're gonna have paperwork that said they did. If they find out somewhere down the line that the doctor gave them a real vaccination, are they gonna try to sue the doctor? I mean, they probably are, but then all the paperwork will be like, no, you came in for a vaccination. They had it in cash. There was no contract to be signed of, don't give me a real vaccination. Heck, you didn't say what to fake
Yeah.
the vaccination with. We faked the vaccination with the vaccination. Checkmate.
Yeah. That's a really convincing fake.
And then, of course, 5 years from now, these people will be like, I never actually got the COVID vaccination, and I just, like, pretended that I did, and you're all sheep, blah, 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 because, you know, that's how they do. What do you mean I need more autumn grass?
Hmm?
I still need autumn grass.
Okay.
I got my hot fruit. Now I need autumn grass in order to keep making levelizers. I thought I had everything that I needed. How did I have like 20 autumn grass? How does this happen? I hope I still have all my hot fruit I need. Saying that Doug is still following me, I might not have actually saved properly. Season nutrients. Yeah, I have like 18. I have 518 of that. Okay, so I'm just 500 short. That's it. Blah. Oh, that's right. I'm 18 short because I used 18 hot fruit to make the formulates. Ha! Brilliant. As always. Gosh, I set up this whole convoluted thing for my channel, and now I have to find like a bunch of like little games that I can like just play in an hour. Cause it was every other day at noon. I upload Rune Factory 4, and on the other days at noon, I upload a first episode of a new series or a single episode of a game. So it's usually stuff like demos or, hey, I want to play this Rise of the Sword whatever, right? Alright, let's put the first episode on at noon, whatever. But I have so many games that I'm like in the middle of playing that I'm back to the original problem I was at before, where I start games and don't finish them. So now I need to find a lot of games that I can beat in just one. Either find a lot of games I can finish in one episode each, or just play and whatever. Or I need to
Yeah.
find another long running series that I can play alongside Rune Factory. Because I'm only playing
Okay.
this game until the Rune Factory 5 comes out in English sometime next year.
Okay.
Rune Factory 5 is set to come out eventually. I think March?
March?
I think March
Okay.
sometime, so waiting for that to come out, and I'm going to do a whole series on that. And just switch from
Ooh,
RF4 to RF5.
that makes sense.
Yeah, because this game came out in 2012.
Oh, wow.
Yes. And like it has a few little quirks and stuff, and then of course they re-released it for the Switch. I think last year. When last year was when R5 was supposed to come out, and then it came out in Japan earlier this year in like June or something, and then I found out that it came out, but it's only Japanese. People have
Oh,
confirmed it is only Japanese. There's no English version on the Japanese version of the on the Japanese game.
okay.
So that's when I started doing this thing and being all, well, if I can't play R5 in English, I'm just going to play R4 to hype myself up for almost a full year until R5 comes out. I beat the game in like 2 months, 61 episodes. And I was like, well, I don't know, do a stupid challenge run and try to make that last forever. So now I'm doing a stupid challenge run. I
Okay.
I beat the game with a watering can. It was my stupid challenge, and I did it. I heard that sound.
That's pretty impressive.
It is impressive that I heard the level up sound. I don't know what stat just got leveled up. It's not chemistry, but I heard the level up sound.
Hmm. It's a mystery.
I know when cooking you can get experience points in fire. You probably get experience points in like earth or something, one of the elemental skills, when you do chemistry.
Okay.
But yeah, 19,721 more skill points to go. Yes, it's a big number, but skills go up to 999. So, and no, there is no potion you can just drink to increase skill points. If there were, I would have been farming that, but it's like the only shortcut to that is being able to like farm up fields of stuff, and so that's what I have all of my pineapples for. Is to farm up fields of pineapples to farm up my fields of skill points. Gosh. I can farm up levels just fine, though. Since the start of this recording session, we've got over 2,000 levels, and I think I'm holding on to like 1,500 or so more potential levels.
Oh, wow.
So I think I might just have a full, like, 4-hour recording that's just a 4 times speed, so a full hour of just 4 times speed of drinking levelers or something.
Oh,
I
okay.
wouldn't put it past myself.
Does it like level you up at the like end of the day?
No, with every levelizer you drink, you get a level up notification, and you get 1 level.
Oh,
I can show
okay.
you by drinking some here. But we can see the level right there, 4420. Yeah, make 15 more levels. Because you have to actually, not necessarily drink, it's eating. It's the same animation and sound as eating, so you have to eat the levelizers to level up. Like many things in life, it's better if you don't think about it too much.
Here, yeah.
Oh, only 45 left. But yeah, if we go into like vanillion stuff, all these fun characters. Oh gosh, speaking of songs, I just reminded. Have you ever heard the song Little Miss Perfect?